And we are live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fandible Office Hours. I am Professor Donnelly. This is Professor Rodriguez. And sorry about coming to the office kind of late. We
Yeah.
had a dinner date with someone who didn't show up.
So,
We were very hungry, and then our
I
delivery
was-
guy did not show up, is the
I
point.
was, I was very, I told Dave like I will fight people if I don't eat before we go live.
I've not seen Dan hangry more than like a
No,
couple
it was,
of times.
It was one of those things. It was like, here's the thing. That's so I meditate. I'm a little bit like the Hulk. That's my secret cap. Like I'm always like this is why I meditate, because I was like, Dave asked me like a question about an idea, and I got weirdly irrationally like pissy about it. Right, I haven't eaten since this morning.
Yep.
That explains that.
Yeah, so anyways, sorry about starting late. That was beyond our control. We managed to procure dinner, but I've only seen Dan hangry a handful of times, very, very small amount. And when he said, by the way, I'm not doing this until I'm fed, I was like, oh, that's the charitable answer to I will just be a shitheel
I
to
will
everyone.
Fight. I
Yeah.
will fight.
Yep. So sorry about that, everyone. So Dan,
First of all, I don't know if the viewer sees it, but yes, we do in fact love baby.
sorry.
You posted we I think you meant to say we live baby. Autocorrect says we love baby.
Do love baby. Fuck it.
We here at Fan will help us ours pro baby.
Love baby.
We
Yeah,
love baby.
no, huge baby stands. Us. Big into the baby scene. I'm gonna stop now. Yeah, probably best.
Probably for the
And
best.
probably because we actually are the two who are most definitely not going to be in the
yeah.
baby scene at
Yeah,
any time.
Yeah.
Yep. So Dan,
Yes, sir.
it's been what, 2 weeks since our last office hours?
Didn't we do one last week? I thought we did one last week. Jesus was here.
Oh yes, correct. And Jesus is not here tonight, sadly.
No.
So Dan, we were talking about this before we started rolling, and I came up with the idea of we were talking about, like pop culture, how it influences role-playing games
Yes.
and video games and all that stuff, but specifically about games, right? So there are a lot of board games that are based on certain kind of pop culture ideas or IPs, intellectual properties, and role-playing games. So, for instance, some have made the jump the other way, like Cyberpunk. Vampire has made the jump.
True.
I don't know if you've heard about this little game called D&D.
It seems pretty niche, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yep. They have a couple of video games. I don't know how good they are. And so I was thinking about what that we would like to see from pop culture go into role-playing, but I don't like such open-ended questions, because obviously you could say just Lord of the Rings, which is already a thing. You could say, like Neuromancer, which is arguably already a thing.
Yeah.
What about a smaller project? What about a song or a independent film that you've seen would you like to see as a role-playing game? And it can be any song, and then we're going to interpret it as what kind of game it could be. And I'm going to start with my favorite. So, my favorite goddamn song possibly in the world, and listeners need to understand that I come from a punk and ska and like techno background. Or EDM background. That was my upbringing. That was like my formulation of a person. Were those things, also like emo and stuff like that, but mostly like the punk subset, and also the now known as EDM subset. And so wildly, my favorite song is actually "Kiss" by Prince, and I know it's my favorite song because I can't explain why. I fucking love that song. I absolutely adore that song. Whenever it comes on, and my partner will become, kind of just absolutely. She'll walk away from me
Yeah, yes,
in
well,
a
she should.
store if it starts playing on the speakers in a store. I have to dance. Not only have to dance a little, I have to sing the fuck along. It's the perfect song. And so if there's going to be an RPG about a song that I like, it has to be Kiss by Prince.
Okay, but what kind of RPG would it be?
A romance.
Okay, I was gonna say like I thought Hex Crawler myself, but it's a very comedy song. I feel.
Oh
like,
yeah, no. There's challenge, there's conflict, but also there's Prince.
So
and Kiss.
we're thinking what like Monster Hearts. We're thinking. I mean, it's got sex moves, right?
Yeah, but I feel like Kiss it doesn't necessitate sex moves because it never. It's like
yeah.
the opening line is like, you don't have to be beautiful to turn me on.
True,
so
true, true.
now we're like from the jump, you're already challenging ideals of what is beautiful.
So 5e then.
What the absolute fuck piss. Sorry, we got a question from Malvos. Malvos, thank you for dragging me out of this pit. Jesus.
Dragon. I got it.
The Malvo says the Doctor Who D&D conversion may be the latest serialization that they've heard of.
Right, from a recent, like a well-known property getting adapted into a game.
Yeah.
That
But-
was a whole blown thing.
So back to Kiss, though. So what if, what if we boil it down to its primary components, which is attraction, and then going against the grain of what popular attraction is, right? So like, because the entire song's like, you don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. I just need your loving baby from dusk till dawn. Okay, so we've set a timeline. Dusk till dawn. So it's a nighttime game, right?
All right.
But also, you don't need to be beautiful to turn me on. It's already challenging the ideas of of what is beautiful, which is already, bam, I'm back to fucking punk rock.
Yeah.
But also, if Prince is going to tell you you're beautiful, listen. So I think that it's maybe a game about proving to somebody that they are, in a one-night stand, beautiful and worth this kiss. So maybe it's kind of like a Cupid game. You wrote a Cupid game at one point.
I did. It was mostly about the Cupids trying to like arrange things for other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the more I hear about this, the more I think Vampire the Masquerade. It's built in. Nosferatu. You don't have to be beautiful. They use the right
They
disciplines.
could use better stats, though. Am
Yeah,
I right?
and
Everybody
come
who's
on,
learned how I feel about
It's built
this.
into it. The kiss. I mean, look, the whole game writes itself. It's a module for Vampire.
All right, so it's a module for Vampire. Dusk till dawn. Okay, get it.
You got your Nosferatu, and you need to get laid. It's, I mean, not even. No, you're looking for love. You're Nosferatu, looking for love. You want that kiss, but you don't have lips. It's all just jagged teeth in various directions. This show not sponsored by. What's the one that Jesus is using?
By Bite.
Yeah, this show.
Bite.
not
If
sponsored.
you want to sponsor us, we will talk exclusively about vampires and fixing their teeth.
For real.
And also, I would love to get a
Wouldn't that
set
be-
from you for free, please.
Wouldn't that be a great ad though? Like the whole thing, like some vampires talking about complaining about their teeth, like bite, yeah. Like, it's the marketing
I
writes
love
itself,
just
people.
a guy looking in the mirror, like cape and cowl and everything, but like it turns, like camera turns around and there's no reflection. He's like,
It's
"Whoa,
just
I'm,
the bite thing.
I'm tired of all these people, all these people turning away from me. I think it's my teeth." Yeah. And then it's like, but thankfully, and he's walking through a candlelit mausoleum, followed by his undead brides floating eerily
Yes,
next
yes,
to him.
yes.
Luckily, I signed up for Bite. If it's one thing I know, it's teeth.
Yeah, there we go. Look, it writes
Seriously,
itself. Bite,
please,
reach out to us. Jesus,
$25 and a fucking set.
Like we're
Two,
here.
two
we're
sets.
Here,
I don't know if you need to fix your teeth, but I would love to.
Yeah.
So.
I grew up with regular braces. I don't want to go back to that ever. So yeah.
That's why I got jacked up teeth, by the way, because like I was asked, do you want braces? And as a kid, understandably, I was like, no, fuck you.
I was not asked if I wanted. Yeah.
No.
Oh, hey, Eagle D20. Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you for joining. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So yes. So we've decided we've got. So your game
is Kiss. Yeah. By Prince. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, so I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite from the entire discography of Weird Al. Much
Oh my
less-
God, that's such a good fucking
Right?
pull though. That's such a good well to like draw from.
It's honestly, every single Weird Al song could be a Grant Howitt one-page RPG.
Grant Howitt, by the way, we know you're a fan. You don't have to write in, but go ahead and like write a game, and we'll play it for you to like give you exposure. Fandible exposure.
do it the whole ASMR
Exposure.
This is not being recorded or edited, so it's fine.
Yep. No.
But
We'll just release that one part as a like Patreon bonus.
yes,
Just ASMR from Dan and Dave after they've wrapped from office hours.
yeah. There we go.
That'll be fun. We should do that
We should.
to punish the people who pay us. Anyways,
I mean, yes.
yeah. How dare you? How dare you have charity in your hearts and believe in the things we do?
Exactly.
So a song, but also I'll open it up to a movie, but it has to be a short film.
Yes.
It cannot be like, you can't say like, John Wick, like, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
It has to be an independent movie or a short film.
Independent. Ooh. There's the one that I myself chose for a movie night that we did some time ago.
No.
Was it? It's a Dave Builds a Maze. Is it Dave or is it
Dave Built a Maze.
Yeah, Dave Builds a Maze. Yeah, that's like there's this. Yeah, like that right there. That's a game.
By the way, Dave Built a Maze, amazing film. You should absolutely
good old fun, good old weird ass fun. But yeah, I mean it's got everything built in, right? It's got a built-in reason for at least one player to be there, and then Dave's friends, who are also like the rest of the party. So you've got plenty of room. The movie shows it. Like there's all sorts of weirdos that show up. And I'm going to try and talk about it without spoiling too many things, but there are certain things like Dave builds a cardboard maze, and it turns out to be a lot. There's a lot going on with that.
It's fantastical realism. It's not a fantasy. It's not realistic. It's a weird amalgam.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of need to go with it.
Yeah, you kind of need like just things start happening, and everybody's like, "This is weird," but they accept the reality of the weirdness. It's that magical realism thing.
Yeah.
It is weird. The characters in the movie recognize that this is unusual, but they don't stop going like, let's call the government. This is it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Stop it. They're like, okay, I guess we're going in,
Yeah.
which is perfect. Like that's the mind space for an RPG.
Ooh. Right? So here's the thing about the movie. You don't know why Dave built the maze. you finally find out it's a fucking gorgeous movie. You picked out a movie that like genuinely like improved my life because it was so good. But here's the thing: so Dave doesn't know why they built the maze,
Yep.
and then they've got a partner that is following them, has a complication, and with Dave, and then you've got friends.
Yes.
So.
And then eventually, just some random people kind of
Just show up.
like,
So
yeah, there's so as a game, there is built-in excuse for pretty much whatever you want to play.
yeah,
You can be
but
Dave or you can be anybody.
what about this? When you play, and this is just boiling it down to Dave and their partner.
Right.
Dave doesn't know why they built the maze either, and through a series of maybe like card flips or dice rolls, they learn why they built the maze.
Right. That's the whole. You're right. You travel through the maze to learn why you built the maze.
And the partner rolls to see about what their relationship is with Dave that influences
Right.
those.
Because every change between them, every interaction, every action you take to a certain point,
Every step you take.
exactly, they will affect the maze.
Yeah. So that actually might be really fun.
Yeah.
Why you got to pick the good ones? I was gonna pick Lamageddon. That's
what I
fucked
do.
up.
I
That's
mean,
fucked
that's
up.
also like again, now we're back to the one page. You know. Like, tell me, Lamageddon would not be a great one pager.
No, Lamageddon deserves nothing less than a 300-page, absolutely intricate, lore-heavy. Yep.
It's like the book is 300 pages. 250 of those are just fucking lore.
Lore. Llama lore.
Llama.
Llama lore.
Lore with two L's.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please watch Lamageddon. It is it's a wild film that all told, summed up, we liked. But it is a student film, and it shows. They throw everything against the wall. Some stuff just slaps off of it and falls to the ground, and the other stuff sticks. And the stuff that sticks, the jokes that work, they work really hard. Like, they land hard with us. Yeah. So, all right. So we got Kiss, and we've got Dave built a maze. Going back to me, golly gee. I really want to throw in a ska song here.
Yeah.
Because I know it's...
You got a brand to it. You got a brand.
I do have a
maintain.
fucking brand. I love ska music. And I'm going to die with that on my fucking grave. I'm going to have a fucking checker, print. But I'm trying to think of something that is like... so I got into ska music in the 90s off of... in the punk scene. And the band that really got me into it was honestly the Pie Tasters. It turns out I saw them in concert and I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't into ska. But the Pilfers were a 90s New York City ska band that were super, super conscious or socially conscious. And I'm thinking of that, but the problem is there are a lot of serious role-playing games out there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that if I had to write one or even come up with one, I don't think I really have the right to do that. So
Not without doing it right? Like,
I can't do anything right.
Exactly.
I think that's what the viewers know. I can't do anything right through the roles
once again,
or
your brand.
Exactly. So that's why I'm going to go with Real Big Fish Sellout.
Oh.
Yes. Sellout is going to be a role-playing game about coming up with a good idea and then selling it for the most amount of money. Yeah. So maybe not a role-playing game, maybe a board game or a card game. Ooh, a card game. Oh, shit. Get Jesus on this.
Yeah.
A card game called Sellout where you start as indie, maybe just nobodies, and then you try to build up some sort of brand. I mean, with the motif of the song as a band, and then try to sell it for the highest amount of money versus the person or other people on the at the table. But you pull random things that are genres that are popular at the time, that you have to integrate into your sound, but then as they fade out, you have to discard them.
So you're a ska band, but lately, like big band or whatever has
Exactly.
been like, yeah.
Exactly. And the question is like, can you? Oh, okay. So here's how you lose. You have a core sound. You have to maintain the core sound. So the punk band has to stay punk in some way. Ska band, emo band, indie, fucking rock, whatever. But so when you look at your cards, you always have to, there's some way that you could threaten getting rid of your core sound. And
So
you have to manage the cards in order to like keep your core sound, but stay within a popular genre. Fuck, I would play the shit out of this game.
So there's gotta be a mechanic. Okay, there's gotta be a couple of mechanics, right? There's gotta be a mechanic in which whenever you make a change to your sound, you produce a song. Right. So basically, like every round would be, on your turn, you're effectively like producing a song.
Yeah.
For your band, and so there's got to be some kind of mechanism to determine how popular a song is and how big of a hit it is.
Okay.
And then there would be, I'm assuming there's a competitive game, so then the other players would be able to lay down cards that effectively represent management, like butting in and going like, hey.
Yeah.
You should have this sound. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you need another drummer. That sort of thing. And then you have to, from whatever cards are in your hand, somehow fight back. Like try and defend, like your band, defend the purity of your sound, defend your band's musical vision, and then the song that you produce in the end is going to be some level of compromise, right?
Interesting.
Because you're never going to have enough to. You sold out.
Yeah.
They always have more power.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to negate everything and keep yourself unique.
That's a really good idea, Dan.
Right?
I love the idea, by the way, like the card of like another player could use is like management intervention or like studio notes. And what it is like you take a sound from the person you're playing the card on, and then take a sound of someone else and be like, management says that this is going to be the next best thing. And like, it's like, oh, fuck, big band? Dude, it's 2009. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah.
I like it. I legit have some possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get Jesus on it. He's good at card games.
He's good.
Yeah. I don't like making systems. I like learning systems.
I like
and then
I enjoy it.
and then like breaking them down to see how I can win, how I can possibly win, and avoid dice rolls.
That's the fun part, because that's the thing. Like, I like making systems, and I'll bring them to you, so you can go like, how to break.
Yeah, exactly. I remember like you brought me your Magic game that you recently published. What's it called again?
I mean, I've got multiple ones, but there's Hometown Magic and there's Seeker's Call, the most recent one, which you can get if you're a $5 or higher Patreon on our Patreon.
Yeah, it's a great game, and Dan brought that latest one to me specifically with request. Can you break this?
Yeah, it's like,
and,
here are the rules. Please break them and question them, and I'll see if I either have answers or like, no, you have legitimately broken my game. I need to go back.
There were a couple of points where I never broke your game, but there were definitely points where you had to think about it. You're like, there's an answer here, and I was like, you can't duct tape it. Right, like you can't like loop around, and you're like, well, you had to play up my other game, and I remember that was the sticking point.
Yeah.
You're like, you had to play my other game, and it was like, no, you know my fucking rule about media. I shouldn't have to do homework to enjoy the media that I'm enjoying. Right. So I shouldn't have to watch the movie before to enjoy what Jason Bourne is doing right now. Right. That's why fucking like movies like Jason Bourne are great.
Like there can be stuff from the previous one that will increase your enjoyment of.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's are references that you would only get if you saw the previous one.
Yep.
But it's not like the movie is otherwise completely unenjoyable unless you got the references.
Exactly.
So the game should kind of be like that. Like you should be able to pick it up and play it, even if you didn't sit down and read the 250 pages of lore.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like
Flower
Star,
lore,
it's like
you
it's like Star Wars though. Like, oh, you should have read the book. I will punch you in the neck. Like I'm so like I hate that. Oh well, if you had read the book, like I hate that about IPs or into.
But it's always tricky because at the same time, like sometimes you'll have mechanics in a game that the reason they exist is because of the lore. Like there are certain things, like for example, for my game, magic can't be used to make direct attacks, and there is a reason behind that, and it's not necessarily a mechanical one. It is a lore reason. It is because so you're not gonna know, like, but why can't I do that? Well, A, because the rules say you can't. You know, that's a simple answer. But also, like, if you want to know why the rules say you can't, you do have to read the book.
Yeah, but it's a satisfying answer is the thing.
Right.
Like, it's a satisfying answer. You can't do X. Like, all right, move forward.
Exactly.
It's kind of like
else, at least you got, like, okay, it's clear. The rule itself says, like, these are the rules that I'm playing this game under. Okay, understood.
Yep. So, it's like in D&D, like, you can't reverse gravity. Why not? Moving on. Yeah. Like,
exactly.
you can't just imagine your way into whatever you want.
Right. Like, that actually happened more in the previous one, in Hometown Magic, where Hometown Magic straight up does not have a combat system.
That's a modern day game?
No. They're meant to be like little sort of. Like
I'm not a patron, so I don't know. You tell me.
It's all right. Now, you would need to read a book. So there we go. I waited on seeing, like, can I kill my co-host?
Less known fucking footage of Daniel. God damn.
How do I murder my co-host?
Motherfucker.
So, oh hey. Well, this is. I'm not sure if Robert Bowl is on the stream, possibly not, but they just tweeted. They are the author, by the way, of Misspent Youth, the tabletop RPG, and they mentioned that the Kickstarter for that game was called Sell Out With Me, as is its supplement.
Yo, okay, Robert, do we have a link? Because any reference to a ska band, I will play.
I'm pretty sure we have Misspent.
We are the Union. Please make a role-playing game.
I'm pretty sure we have the PDF. But yes, Misspent Youth by Robert Bowl. Yeah, it's got a reference to, in fact.
I fucking love it. All right.
In fact, you would probably dig Misspent Youth. It's definitely got that sort of punk rebel vibe.
Yeah, I'm into
you
it.
Definitely dig that game.
Yeah. So, all right, so we've got that.
Just nearly killed our good friend Explorers Wanted. Thank you for joining us.
You need to read a book. Thanks, Explorers.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No,
but I couldn't help but notice that you're supporting the guy who was on your show, not the one you never invited. But anyways, you were saying.
Y'all, by the way, should have. So long as he's not required to read anything, Dave's a great guest.
I mean, you're my guest in my home, and I still feel like I should leave.
But Hometown Magic does not have a combat system. There is no mechanical way to quote unquote resolve combat. Can your characters get hurt or get into a fight? Yes, but it is handled narratively, and this was very much a design decision, and it is explained in the game book. You know, in the rules, not just setting, like in the rules, like combat. You are playing children. No, like they basically I am not writing rules about like hurting children and and hacking off limbs and whatnot. Do children.
I mean, that's why it's not run by Jesus.
Exactly. That is Jesus' territory.
Oh my God,
Jesus! If you're watching, you said you might be.
We love you.
We love you, and you should be here. If you wanted to defend yourself, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry, man. But like, infamously, Jesus ran before I was part of Fanable when I was a calming tide for this podcast. He ran a Gargoyles game that got really, really dark and visceral. So I had heard this. I had always heard. I, in a sense, had grown up with this in the podcast. hearing about it, but not really, like, just, it was a story, it was a myth, it was something the rest of Fandible would tell around a campfire.
Yes.
And then he ran, I think it was Masks? Which one was the
Oy,
one?
Yeah, Masks.
Which was the one where Billy could teleport into people? We had played a lot of... So, we love superhero games. If we could, like, tie down our podcast to just superhero games, we would fucking do it. We have a stupid amount, but there was one game where Billy was playing a superhero kid. We were all kids.
Yeah, we're all teens.
Who could teleport and teleported with his baton into someone, expecting, reasonably so, that it would result in some sort of just blast and everybody's forced back or something because matter can't, just like occupy matter. And no, Jesus went full fucking body horror.
Oh, here's the thing again. Like, look, man, Jesus is an amazing GM who loves his body horror. He loves his bloody, gory games. He's great at describing it, and we have fun with it. We love it. You give Jesus a game
about kids with powers,
and he's like it. Yeah, that's what he. It's what. He is the artist, the RPG is the medium, and gore and body horror is his work. Okay, like he may present it as a painting or as a novel or as a carving, a sculpture, if you will. In all cases, there will be blood and gore and somebody, like, it's gonna be horrible. The medium does not change the message.
Yeah.
And the message is you just, like, stabbed a dude through the heart with your, like, magic powers. What are you again? 14, 15? Yeah. Through the heart. Just, like, so much.
You watch him die. You look into his eyes and you see the light fade. Anyways, so roll for initiative.
Yeah.
It's like the people around the table horrified.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So Sound Squishy mentions Explorers Wanted. It does indeed. Sudor 2, welcome to join our conversation. And now that you made the right decision, step away immediately and do not look back. This is please.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, we're going to mentally step away right now and say that. So we talked about the message is meat. Says Explorers Wanted. Thank you very much. The message is meat. It's what's known as a meat cute.
All right, so
and this is what you listen in for. So we've got Kiss.
Yes.
We've got Dave Built a Maze, right? And then we've got I completely forgot what the third one was. They were just joking about. I want to say Lost Boys. No. No, I don't think we actually.
No, wait, no, we were talking about. Okay, so how did we literally just talked to listeners, viewers? You're watching this happen live. We literally just spoke about the thing.
We did the thing. Here's the problem. This is what meetings with Fandible is like.
Team
like,
ADHD, go.
When Fandible gets around the table and, like, talks about things they want to do, inevitably when we're done with business, we just bullshit and then we just let
it's all gone.
Sell out.
Thank you.
Sell out. Yeah,
yes.
the ska song.
Yeah, there we go.
All
Which
right,
apparently there is in fact an RPG for.
But I will make
a
a different RPG for a different ska song.
Yes.
But now it goes to you, Dan.
What, me? Shit, fuck.
I've never heard of that song. Maybe. Oh, is it the Blink 182 song? Shit, piss, cunt, son.
That might be it. Whew. Okay, so I'm a cheat. Because it's what I do. I told you before we started recording that I am bad at the musics. I am no good at it.
No, fuck you, Dan. No, fuck you. We have talked about your elaborate 90s playlist. Your
No,
fucking
look.
loving EDM playlist.
Here's
The-
no.
Yeah,
I take no response. I tell the machine, "Hello Google. I like the 90s music. Also, I like the EDM mostly from the 90s. Throw in some early 2000s stuff. That's mostly fine." That's where I stopped. Everything from then on is frightening to me, frankly, and should not be considered music. Go. And the Google will go like, Gen X, I see, and provides me with these playlists. I do not put them together. Half the stuff, I recognize artists from the 90s because that's when I grew up. That was my time. So half the time I was like, oh, that song, yes, I know that artist. Nothing since. I am on the weekly at least surprised to find out, oh, that song I like is Justin Bieber. Fuck. Like it happens to me regularly.
So were you heartbroken by Despacito finding out that was Justin Bieber?
Yeah, exactly. So instead, I'm going to answer with a genre, if you will, and even then, it's a bullshit genre. You're going to hate me for this one, but there should be some kind of game based around mashups because I fucking love mashups.
Oh, mashups are good. They are good.
I have had a mashup that is a mix of, and those of you who follow me on Twitter have seen me post this link, and I am still obsessed with this goddamn song. It is a mashup of Fireflies by
Owl City.
Owl City.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the one.
Why do I know that? I'm so bad at math, but I know that.
You would not believe your eyes. That song with who I assume is some kind of trap artist called Sage, and it is a mashup of two of their songs. And it is fucking brilliant.
Stevedore says
there's a game called Mashup. Well, look at me. I'm Billy. I now understand your pain when you independently came up with the Langoliers. And then found out that it was.
Billy once ran a game that was turned out to be basically the Langoliers. He had never read the Langoliers. And he independently.
It
was fucking great.
It was a great game. And then he found out that Stephen King had already. Yep. And I tried to tell him, like, dude, Stephen King already wrote everything. Like, you need to move beyond that.
He's the Simpsons of horror.
Exactly.
It's just, can you do it kind of different? Mm-hmm. But we actually never released it because the audio got all fucked up. Right. No, the audio was a fucking travesty. There were two really good Billy games that you'll never hear because the audio,
the lost games,
fucking travesty work. It was not recoverable. It was basically static and screaming.
The lost game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah.
And there was the mud one, the one where it was a flood. And I don't think you were there for that one.
I don't think I was there. That doesn't sound familiar. There are some lost episodes, sadly.
So Explorers Wanted said, no, a meet cute is when two butchers make out at a Build-A-Bear. Greenlit. Write the script. We will produce it. I want that. I want that meet cute, but at a Build-A-Bear.
Oi.
And the silent, the simmering overtone is that they're nefarious, they're malicious, they're possibly murderers, but then they meet each other, and actually it's just a very sweet story.
But also there's a lot of innuendo.
Yeah,
there's a lot of innuendo. That would be like, you're stuffing the bears.
Yep. Let's see.
Okay. So the game Mashup apparently is not about music.
Yep.
It's genre. So Cowboys and Ninjas, it's a card game, which sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. But okay, so let's
just real quick before I forget, I figured out the answer to my I would like to propose a mashup game, if you will. Weird Al Skankovich, the ska Weird Al cover or crossover role playing game.
I love it.
Because what covers more music than ska and Weird Al?
Right? Because like the ska covers of every song you've ever
exactly.
Like some ska artist, if you will, will have made a ska cover of it.
Ska artists, by the way, if you want to send us a little piece of music you'd like to give us for fanable or office hours, please,
we will just
by
play it
all means,
constantly.
pick it up.
Yeah. So let's look at the mechanics of this mashup game, because okay, it's gonna be music.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some history in the games of games kind of built around music
Mm-hmm.
and musical sort of concepts. This is one that came out very recently, based loosely on an anime called Symphogear, in which the magical girls sing, and the music they translate that energy into pew pews and explosions.
Did you
because
ever
anime.
Did you ever play the old game Dex, which was basically a hex? You went
Yes,
around,
yes, yes,
but it
yes.
was based on making a song,
Yes.
and it was, if I could get that to play in my home,
There's got to be a way.
it would be it would be what we wouldn't record.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I'd make everyone.
There's got to be a way.
Yeah,
But
so-
so I'm thinking, if the game is based on mashups, so when you want, it's you're affecting reality in some way or another. You are putting out music. You are changing things. The aspects that you add to it come from the music. So it's more about vibes than about specific songs, right? So you've got like energetic ska mixed in with like some kind of waltz or something.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right, well, explain that effect. Like, all right, what happens there? You know, when you do it. And so
love that.
You,
All
so
right.
you would, yeah, your character's actions would be influenced by the particular mashup of musical genres that they have
Oh, all right.
created and that they are employing as part of their actions.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a little bit like Image, Cult of Ecstasy, where like, you know, some
Yeah.
of them will like they'll just start drumming on things, and that is them doing their magic, like
Mm-hmm.
getting into the rhythm of the universe,
Mhm.
channel the magic, whatever. So this is kind of like what you do. You channel through the music, but in order to create something new, you take different aspects of music, mix them into something
Interesting.
new, make something new, and that's
Okay,
your,
so we played a game that was, what was it? Young Hearts, Lion Hearts. It was the
Void, not Void Hearts.
no,
Void
no, it
Hearts,
was
yeah.
the superhero teenage game where you would constantly like change what your motivation and emotion was. Do you remember that one?
Is that not Masks?
It might have been Masks.
I think that's still Masks.
Might have been.
Yeah.
And one of our biggest problems was like you never really had a grasp on your character because you were constantly changing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, because that's a very typical, Powered by the Apocalypse thing. That like, your the effects of moves used upon you can sometimes determine how you react to things. Kind of like, you know, if somebody uses a move on you, then you have to react violently or angrily. And it's like, but what? Like, basically, like your character. The way your character approaches things can effectively be manipulated from outside of you,
Yeah.
and that to us personally, just doesn't sit right with us.
Yeah, because it took me out of it, and it was like, oh, well, I'm playing a card game. Then.
Exactly.
Like,
If the game is telling me how my character feels about something and reacts about something, like it's, and I get it. I get where that comes from, especially for a game about teenagers, where yeah, sometimes you will like react in ways that you the character don't have control over. Like as a teenager, you will lose control of your emotions, stuff like that. I get it. As a grown up, I hate it. I hate it, and I don't want to play it.
Yeah. So we had stuff about that game. Otherwise, fun game. So Explorers Wanted said you guys have to commit to skanking to the music if they send it. Cannot tell if that is a Rancid reference or a Sublime reference.
But either way,
But I am willing to skank to the music.
Yeah.
Because I have been my entire life. And when I die, I would like a ska band to play me out like a New Orleans like funeral.
oh hell yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Have a punk band pulling my wagon, drag me to the graveyard.
Like, assuming you die before me, and that's a fairly safe assumption, I'll make this happen. But yes, like, should a ska band like make us music? you bet your sweet ass we would like skank the hell out of that. Like,
Yeah, I'll make an entire fucking game out of
we
that.
will travel out to Philly and we will make Angela and Billy and little Lucas, all of them, like they will all skank.
Absolutely. So,
And Jesus, don't think you're getting away either. We know where you live.
yeah, exactly. We will, Fandible, Skankable. Wait, no.
Skankable.
Okay, we'll work on that. We'll workshop that one. So Stevedore 2 says you react by either accepting or rejecting.
Oh yeah, for masks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Like like the game tells you your character is angry, and you can say yes, it is. He is angry, and I go like no, I don't want that. So no, I get that. I mean, at the end, and that's part of the reason why Powered by the Apocalypse is well loved. You as the player do retain control. You can always choose to reject. Just like in any other game, like in Numenera, like the GM has that option to like, hey, offer you a GM intrusion, and you can always say no. You
Yep.
can always like pay an XP and say no, I don't want that to happen. You do effectively remain in control. But for me at least, there's a difference between something like Numenera where the GM can come in with an intrusion and something in the world happens, and they can sort of dictate a little bit of like what you do as well, because you're accepting that they gave you something in return. But with games like Masks and everything, it still, I don't know, the game dictating how my character feels about something still rubs me the wrong way. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing about the game, but it's definitely something that for me personally rubs me the wrong way, and that I really try to avoid when I'm like designing things.
Oh, for sure. Because like looked at another standpoint, it is very much it's a great idea for yes and right. It's a great idea for the improv aspect of role playing, where you're like, oh, I have this new aspect. I'm going to yes and this part of my character, and then we're going to roll for it, and it's going to be exciting. Totally get that. Absolutely get that. It's not necessarily for us.
Yeah. Also, it really very much depends on how you play. Because I have in con situations played some Powered by the Apocalypse games that I very much enjoyed. I've run some games by a good friend of the show, Kevin Petker, and his games are, except for Princess World, which is his own thing, which are very highly recommended, lots of fun, and you should go buy a copy. But he's run several Powered by the Apocalypse games. He's written, I believe, the one that Billy very much likes. The Ward is a Powered by the
The Ward is
game.
so good.
So the mechanics and the systems can be done very well. I've played Masks with I'm completely blanking on the name of the podcast. I will look it up. But I played Masks.
Is it Explorers Wanted because they're watching?
It's not.
No?
It's not.
Okay,
They,
cool.
they play Numenera, it turns out. Great show. You should go listen. They actually, if you have not listened to the latest episodes, go back and listen to the whole thing. Shit has gone crazy over the past new episodes. Dan Anderlich, GM, I know you're here. Holy shit, man!
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They invited this fucking jabroni on there.
Also,
it's just a goddamn
I will
nightmare.
be guesting on. I have guested, and I will hopefully be guesting again soon. So look forward to that. But point is, I have played some Powered by the Apocalypse games and found them quite fun. There's just something about the mindset for running Powered by the Apocalypse games that just doesn't mesh with how we as a group approach our games, and it's hard to put my finger on it exactly.
Oh.
But yeah.
So, did you answer the question for
No.
what property?
I was not aware that there was a question.
So I've gone into Kiss by Prince and Sell Out by Real Big Fish.
No, I said the mashups. I was cheating.
Oh yeah, you were.
That's the genre.
All right.
Of mashups. Rather than a
Right.
specific
Got
song.
it. Oh. Well, Dan,
Yes, sir.
I have to ask.
Mhm.
If you could take one of the games of Fandible and then apply it to a different, don't even worry about system, a intellectual property that exists. Different than what it is. Keep the characters, keep the drama, change the setting. What would you do?
So we're basically looking at like a coffee shop AU of like one of our existing games.
Well, I don't know what the fuck that is. What
Because
is that?
you are like nerd adjacent. You speak the language, but then there's all this other stuff like coffee shop AU. That's like I just said words that meant nothing to you. It amazes me. Sometimes.
No, I'm just this side of fucking like
just right
of
there.
like film nerd.
Yeah.
Like I just finished a fucking like 250, 300-page book on the history of fucking horror movies, and I'm about to move on to another one. Like I fucking love the idea of story, and I love the idea of moving those stories. Can you move those stories? And we can. We fucking can. So, for instance, my idea, my example would be take Unhallowed Metropolis and put it into a high school.
Yeah. So that's basically it. So the coffee shop AU is a very stereotypical sort of term. AU, alternate universe.
Oh,
So,
thank you. Because
yeah,
I thought it was like a website for Australia.
No. And so fanfic writers will, it's very common that they will take a movie series, whatever that they love. They will take the characters and they will write a quote unquote coffee shop. It was like, what if these characters, but they're in the modern day and they're all at a local Starbucks, kind of hanging out and having coffee.
Oh, I like that.
And that, so the dynamics and interactions between the characters, but they're normal people in the real world at a coffee shop.
Yep.
So it's a very stereotypical, but also kind of fun. So that's my approach to kind of that. What if the characters in that game, but it's like but in the modern world they're just having coffee. And for that,
Stevedore too says,
we got
I always
chats.
find Powered by the Apocalypse always depends on the game runner's understanding of the rules and the player's willingness to self-narrating. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess it's really just for me, it was a weird balance of like whose final word is it? Like who's in charge?
So there's something that Explorers Wander brings up. Like when you're really character/narrative focused, the quote unquote story from mechanics approach can be rough. Which is I think that's kind of what we run into.
Yeah.
We, as role players, we're used to, putting in like we play narratively. Like whenever you say like, all right, you succeed. Like we very rarely just go like, okay, I did 28 damage and move on.
Yep.
Like we always like, all right, so we roll like you did 28 damage. Yep. All right, so here's what I do. So like I run in, as I'm running, I slide, and then like sword comes up, and we narrate everything, and we narrate what our characters are doing and thinking, like, and I grunt and all this stuff, and. It sometimes feels like Powered by the Apocalypse games are written, and that may be part of why they became so popular. They're written for people who were kind of more used to just being like a little bit more hesitant to invest their characters with emotion and with that sort of thing, like reacting, having the character react.
Oh yeah, because they have approaches. They have approaches, not roles.
Well, no, there is rolling, and there are approaches, and there's also like fate, which has approaches, is a whole other thing. Yeah. But that whole thing of like, if you succeed or if you fail this roll, or if you succeed this roll on somebody else, then they react in this way to you. And so when that's done to another player, for us, our problem is like, why is this game telling me how I react to what you did? Like I might be angry, or I might be sad, or I might be angry but hide it, whatever. And so we instinctively bristle at the game telling me, again, the game telling me how my character reacts, because we already do that. We already kind of, but for people who for whom that's kind of new, then the game, the fact that the game has these narrative bits baked into the mechanics makes us feel like we're actually restrained. It's like, no, the narration is mine to give, not the rules.
Yeah.
The rules tell me the end result, but the narration on how we get to that end result and the motivations of my character and all that should be up to me. That should not be dictated by the game. And I think that's our stumbling point with those.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Bristled like adults set in their ways. Yes, exactly. Set in our ways.
Hello, part-time geek.
Part-time geek. Hey. Welcome.
Yep. Part-time geek says, set in our ways? Nah. Look, with all due respect, and if you have children in the room listening to this, please send them out or cover their ears.
Okay.
Motherfuckers, you think we're done setting our ways? We've played more games than you've fucking heard of. I tell people about the site, and they look at the number of things we've played.
Oy.
It's insane. They think I'm lying. I think I'm lying.
Yeah, no, I look at our numbers and I go, what the? How?
I have a fucking shelf of books that I've never played. And then when my friends see it, they're like, oh, so you've never played a bunch of games? I was like, no, there's a library of games that I had to put in my closet when I moved in with my partner because they didn't want all of those games sitting around. They're in a fucking closet. It's with the goddamn portrait of me growing older, who also loves ska. Like, we've played a fuck ton of games. God, I so
There's
desperately
so many
want to be one of those grognards who is like, no, I don't like these games after X amount of years or
like,
this,
but
whatever.
No, we're like constantly playing like, hey, this game came out yesterday. All right, throw it on the docket. Let's take a look.
We don't learn it well.
No,
We
no,
don't.
God, no.
That's not our thing.
That is not us. That is
We don't
not
learn
us.
it well.
Game creators out there, we love you. We love your stuff. Give us your games. We will play them. We will not read them, understand them, or play them well.
We will read them as best we can.
Yeah, we will scan them. We will get the general vibe of your game.
Yep.
We will hopefully figure out which kind of die we're supposed to roll.
Yep.
And then we will play, and about anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes into the game, one or both of us will attempt to do something not covered by the rules, at which point Jesus will go, you know what? Just roll a d6 and tell me if you get 4 or higher. And that rule was not in your game creators, but it is now.
But the thing is, like, we have almost always enjoyed a game of a setting that in a rule set we did not learn, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, one-page RPGs
are great for us because that's about as far.
But at the same time, I recently made a joke about running a Star Wars game, and that I didn't get the rules and I shut the book. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not a dig at the game.
Yeah,
I fucking love the Star Wars game when we've played it and I've been a player. I can't learn the goddamn rules because I only have so much space in the old hard drive.
Well, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people will play the one game, whether that's D&D or Star Wars or Call of Cthulhu or Numenera or whatever. Like, that's your game, and you get together with your gang of friends and you play that same game, every week or every other week or whatever, your ongoing game. And that's your one system. Yep. And if that is it, you're gonna get into it. You're gonna read. If you play 5th edition, you play the Dragon game. Yeah, there's all these books, and there's so much to go into and learn and mechanics. Did you know in rules as written, 5th edition, if your character bathes in 40 plus gallons of dragon blood for an hour plus, they become a half dragon. It is in the rules. It's in there. It's not in the first book.
I can't tell if you're fucking with me.
I'm not. It's a thing in 5e.
I'm so glad you didn't know that in my fucking D&D game.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, next time we play D&D,
son of a bitch. Why did you spend all of your gold on 5 gallons of...
No, it's 40 gallons. This is the long-term goal.
Oh,
you need
my
40
God.
gallons. Although a big enough dragon, you can get that much blood from it. But anyway, point is, if that's your game, you're gonna learn these rules. You're gonna get into it. We play so many different games that we kind of have to go like, just give me the what do I need to know to like. We're going live in 15 minutes. What I need.
Yep.
Like that's our approach to games.
And also, because like, with all due respect, everybody, we've got jobs, and like some of us have families, and the rest of us have vices we need to indulge.
So many vices. So many.
Like, honestly, like, no, for real though. If you wonder why I don't learn anything other than Shadowrun, and even Shadowrun I fuck up because I don't review it enough before I run it. It's because I'm watching horror movies, and it's like that's like the other part of my goddamn life. Or I'm hanging out with these assholes, and we're just like, I'm making them watch wrestling, and it's a goddamn blast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we try to learn these games.
And occasionally we'll take time. Like someday I will run such an epic Invisible Sun game because I've read all those.
Okay, asshole.
Someday,
sure,
it won't be with you, motherfuckers. but someday in my fucking nursing home, me and the other like.
Fun fact: the black cube is what you will be fucking buried in because it will never happen.
For real. So yeah, sometimes we do read the books, but stuff happens.
I don't even remember the original question. I just got angry. So Stevedore says, bristle like adults set in their ways, correct? And Part-Time Geek.
Please go on.
Part-Time Geek says, sorry I'm late. Was checking out the new infusion engine for Arma. Don't know what the piss blood that is.
One of those sort of combat games, kind of like.
It's a war game, right?
It's a war game.
Yeah. Stevedore says, away, children. Thank you very much. That is my spell. Also says, set in your ways
skimming and ignoring the rules. Yep.
Skimming and ignoring the rules. Yeah. Yep. The Part-Time Geek. Go ahead.
Part of Geek mentions, I guess, to Stevedore too. That sounds like me with Mutants and Masterminds. It's kind of like we just get a little bit. I mean, we do for some of these get.
Yep.
DB.
Yep, that's Dogberry. Let's just keep moving on.
Right.
Explorers want to go ahead.
Well, first of all, taking notes on 40 gallons of Dragon Blood furiously, which Stevedore too mentions. It might be in Fistman's Guide. I think it might be Stevedore. I'd have to go check, but it is in fact
Why would you know
40
that?
plus gallons.
Why?
1 hour after
Why
at the 15-minute mark you start growing scales.
We haven't played D&D in so long. How would you fucking know that? Anyway.
Because if and when we do, you will have flammable things, and I have a mission. So Dan, surrounded by cats. Okay, Mr. Whiskers, are you going to spend a penny on that? Yes. For those not familiar with Invisible Sun, bennies are in fact a BNENERA currency within the game.
Bananas.
Yes, bananas. Are you going to spend a banana on that?
And this is why I will never be invited to his game, because I will only refer to them as bananas.
You would be the worst. You would be the worst because look, man, I love Invisible Sun. But it is an incredibly precious game. It has so many. Your character sheet is a piece of paper, right? You have a piece of paper with lines and whatnot on it, and then onto that piece of paper, you drop little handfuls of colorful cubes, and you spend these cubes to take actions and do things.
The fuck are you talking about?
Again,
are you serious?
It is. You don't have to use the cubes, but you paid for the cubes. They're just tokens. They're just counters. They're kind of like Numenera, where you've got your stat pools. They're basically your stat pools, but you paid a shit ton of money, so instead of just being abstract numbers, they're beautiful little colored cubes. It is precious. It is precious as fuck, and I want to play it so bad with all the cute little things that I paid so much money for. So much money.
All right, so Explorers Wanted, if you're ever in the town, if you're ever in New York, apparently
Well, no, we've played, and I don't know if Malvos is still on the stream. It looks like they've dropped off, but I believe Malvos was part of that game. Explorers Wanted. Dan Anderlich was also part of the game. We did play Invisible Zone online. In fact, I believe Dan was the GM for that one. He's an excellent GM. It comes with the name. Um, so yeah, so we have played it, but I still long somebody for like the full tabletop experience with all the cards and all the things, and yes, someday, not with you fuckers clearly, but someday.
Unbelievable. Well, I have to take a quick break
Yep.
in order
Well,
to.
we've been going for an hour, so but we can take a quick break.
Oh
and
no,
come
no!
back
I
if you
want to come back. I want
Okay,
to come
we are
back.
coming
Like,
back. We're going to
we've,
take a 5 minute
you know,
break.
we were late.
Yes.
We
We-
owe the people
we do.
something more.
We do.
So I want to come back, but I want to ask a question to our listeners, and that is, what, what property, what thing, what like pop culture thing, would you like either of us to run, either Dan or myself? What would you like us to run? And then we will defend it or argue
We'll
against
see.
it.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Yep. So
All right. So yeah.
obviously
yeah,
the
just-
answer is Star Wars because honestly, how good can Angela be at that?
Oh boy. All right. So yeah. Part-time
Hi,
geeks,
Ange.
time to whiskey up. So everybody, grab your whiskey. We will be right back.
I'll be
And we are live once
All
more.
right. Thank you so much for waiting. So let's catch up on some of those.
Oh yeah, no, we got some good suggestions.
I see Briscoe County Jr.
Yo, there's a lot going on.
I'm in.
All right.
What do we got? What do we got?
Let's scroll back on the chat a bit. Let's see where we are. First of all, as soon as we take a break, first suggestion was Shadowrun. Because
fuck you. That hurts so bad, but it's so right. Well done.
Explorers Wanted mentions, I think David could run a hell of a Quietus game. Now, I've heard of this game, but I'm not familiar with it. So, Explorers Wanted, go ahead and put on the chat just the elevator pitch for Quietus and why.
You mean
Dave
the Asimite discipline? Because
right,
in which
that's
case,
how we know it. Yeah. So why would Dave be great for that? Steve Ortu says Deadlands, which we've spoken about before.
Oh yeah. We could roll into Deadlands because we've played so much of Savage Worlds.
Yes.
So yeah.
So Deadlands, and that's where uses a Savage World system exactly. Why? Because they believe in their heart that Briscoe County Jr. was an underrated show and shouldn't have been canceled after one season. That is correct. It should not have been.
I would run a Briscoe County Jr. game. And I would do everything in my power to get. Does Bruce Campbell have a goddamn what's that thing where you can pay famous people to cameo?
Oh, if he does, he would get so much business.
I would put together no less than $500 to get him to say at least one goddamn sentence for that game.
Right?
Please. Bruce, we know you're a fan. You don't have to write in, but we'd really love it if you would just toss us an audio clip our way. By the way, I fucking love Burn Notice, and you were the best part about that. Yeah.
All true. Also, they mentioned that Haunted West
also,
would be a good option.
just real quick. So the Nathan Drake movie.
Yeah, there's a movie. Yeah.
What's it called? Uncharted. Just came out. There is no actor that should have played that character but Bruce Campbell.
Correct. That is
for Scully. For Scully, for like the older.
Yeah. That is correct.
I don't know why that didn't happen. He's the perfect fucking guy for that.
They got the wrong guy.
But instead they got, Donnie Darko. No, Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah. Nah, it's not good. Not good.
Anyways, going back to our question.
Let's see here. All right, so Exorcist Wonder mentions that's a good call, but also maybe Haunted West. So yeah, general vibe. Yeah, we've talked about this, and it may still. In fact, I would rather hope it does happen eventually. We would like to do it at some point.
Yeah, I could trip, fall, and like land in a Western setting. It is even in Shadowrun.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of my resting point is horror and Westerns, which is funny because growing up I hated Westerns. I thought they were so fucking stupid.
But now you have a dog that loves them, so.
Now I have a dog that loves to watch Westerns. This is true. When we go out, we leave the TV on and we put on black and white Westerns. And
your dog loves it.
Yeah, she watches it and like wags her tail, and like we'll come home and she'll be asleep in front of the on the couch in front of the TV playing Westerns, like we would all love to do. Anyways.
All right. So let's see. Part-time Geek Mention is not really up on pop culture per se. That's fine. Neither are we. Stephen Ortu, for people who haven't seen or don't know about Briscoe County Jr., how dare you, by the way. It stars Bruce Campbell, and that is all you need to know about it. So that's a pretty good synopsis of the show, and you should watch it. Part-time Geek does mention that their first thought would be The Witcher, but I don't think the tone fits with the Fandible worldview. I mean, we can do grimdark, kind of, but also, like,
no, I actually think we could do Witcher.
We could do Witcher. We're not going to take it very seriously, but we're going to do it.
I think we could with the right build-up.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. I think we could actually do it very well because We've seen examples of how it can be done well with the video games and the show. I think we could do very well. It would have to be something that we plan to do.
Oh yeah, not a pickup game. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So-
if we decided like we're gonna run like an arc, like an adventure arc at the very least. Like
Yep.
all right, if we planned it out, yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the change that happened with Fandible is that when Billy and Angela lived in New York, we would go over to their place and we would have at least an hour and a half at least.
Just to kind of hang out before we even started playing, right?
Yeah, and we would like casually set up the microphones. We'd talk about how our days or weeks have been, talk about just our lives, just anything. We'd
And we
hang
might
out
talk
as
about
friends.
the game a little bit as well. Like,
Yeah.
what we want to, what we're looking forward to in the game. But overall, like, we show up, we hang out as friends for a while, we set everything up, and then we would record like fairly early in the day, and we would record for several hours, and then we were done, and we would back up a few mics and stuff, and then we would probably usually hang out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But now that we're all doing this remotely and everybody's schedules have changed and it's a little bit more difficult, we have less time to play, less time to kind of just hang out.
And the reason I bring that up is because playing more serious games was easier when we had all been riffing on some bullshit, like some movie that we want to watch or some like song we had heard. We had all been joking around, and so we had all gotten
Get it out of our system.
Yeah, we had all hung out as friends and like just absolutely like exhausted that kind of tension of the week.
Yes.
And so we were relaxed when we sat down. It's like, okay, we're going to be super serious now. And it's like, yeah, I am. Like with my friends, and like we're all going to do this thing together, right? And the second we are done, we're going to watch some bullshit on the TV. We're going to play some fucking Mario Kart. And like it was because that was the setting that we could play more serious games.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like it's harder because like we are choosing whether or not to play serious games or funny games in the only time we get to spend with our friends.
Right. Like it's like keep in mind that we are as
Consummate professionals.
We are consummate professionals, but also like look, there are shows where like the people involved are just together for a show. In our case, we literally are that stereotype of we are friends at a table who started like literally just Jesus tricked us into doing this, and here we are. He's not even here,
and I'll never forgive him.
We'll
never forgive him.
We'll never forgive him for this. But because of that, we value the time we spend together as friends far more strongly than we value the podcast. We love you guys, but we value our friendship over all of this, frankly, and we always will. Which means that because of the change in our schedules and everything else, it is in fact more difficult for us to run like more serious games, which is why we run a lot more one shots, a lot more sort of silly games, because those are really easy to just fall into. They don't require a lot of personal investment, to get into.
Yeah, I just want to say I don't value my friends more than all of you.
I do.
If you donate enough, I will kill my friends.
Okay, yes. Well, when you bring money into it,
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
like
that's kind of.
I mean, we all have like a bounty.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Based on what they're giving us on Patreon right now, I value my friendship more than you guys. You make the numbers happen.
Yeah.
We will fight.
Yeah, 100%.
We will fight.
We want to thank the Italian Mafia for being a sponsor for this stream. Italian Mafia, shut the fuck up about what you saw.
Right.
So we have a bunch of comments.
Yeah, we have
a bunch of comments.
We just went heartfelt for a moment there.
And we'll never do it again.
So-
This is the problem. You don't speak from the heart.
Yeah. All right. So
I was
Explorers
raised Catholic. You drink and you push it
drink
down.
It away. Yep.
You
There we go.
cheers.
So Explorers Wanted mentions, if we're expanding to pop culture that isn't adapted yet, maybe something based on the Locked Tomb series. Now, that only makes me happy because I've read the locked tomb books that have come out so far, and Dave, as we've established, does not read. Um, so, but the locked books series, there's 2 of them out so far. The third one is coming out this year. Fourth one later, I suppose.
Cool story, nerd.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and they are books that are best summarized by the phrase "lesbian necromancers in space." They are
Go on.
They are absolutely hilarious.
I think
Fantastic
friend of the
books.
show, Paige, would actually be interested in that.
Yes. They are absolutely excellent books and an incredible sort of. It's very much like spacefaring adventure, except it's necromancers. Like basically, they discover like, oh, how do you travel in space? Control death. Like, sure,
All right.
let's do that. And it's,
I
it's
thought you were gonna say, how do you traverse space? Lesbians?
I mean, yes. Also,
Oh well.
also, yeah.
checks out.
The
I
lesbians
suppose.
must flow. Is what is I think the game the gist of the books. They're excellent books. Yes, I would play in that universe all the time. All right, thanks, listeners. It's been great. It's been great. Let's continue here. Dave's pouring us some whiskey. We'll be right back. That was me. Good job, Uncivilized Dan. You are the best. Okay, and then this is all the stuff we missed then after, because it all happened like as we were logging off. We've missed a lot.
God
let's
bless
see.
you. Thank you so much for giving us these.
Yeah, y'all
comments.
y'all
You're
are
the
the
best.
best. All right, so Part-Time Geek also thinks Stalker, Shadows of Chernobyl might be a bit too prescient. I was gonna say that's little. We like to be topical with our shows.
But
That's-
right now,
That's one that That's
unfortunately, because
let's give it a couple weeks maybe.
what the fuck is time?
Yeah,
Apparently, somebody jumped in a fucking DeLorean. It was like, what about the 1980s? But now, fuck.
So we'll write that one down. We were back. Also voting for Briscoe County Jr. Yes. Okay, so Explorers Wanted now explaining what Quietus was. So now we're back. Now we've caught up to the point where we started. We're getting there. Quietus is a horror game that uses a stripped down version of Forged in the Dark. So that's
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
I
Blades
know.
in the Dark.
Blades.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So you use a
Mwah,
stripped down
great
version
system.
of Blades,
Yep.
where instead of flashbacks, your characters reveal a scar of trauma to spend stress to help you in the narrative.
Ooh.
Interesting. So yeah. That does actually sound like kind of like up your alley. Like yeah, that's one to look into. Part-Time Geek, Marky Mark. That's what I was looking for. We were talking about what's his face,
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark, and the Funky Bunch.
My favorite thing about Mark Wahlberg is in the what is it? The Happening. The M. Night Shyamalan
Ding
movie where he's playing a teacher and some kid asks like something and he's like, well that's the thing about science. We might never know. Science might never know. And like I was like, but science literally is about knowing. That's the purpose of science, is to know. I love that fucking movie for that bullshit. That movie is a fucking train wreck.
Part-Time Geek mentions we only do grimdark when gargoyles are involved.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Part-Time Geek, you've
Yep,
been
yep,
on
yep.
board for a while, haven't
Yep.
you?
Steve or two, what you're hearing, Dan and Dave, which is us, turns out, is no argument whatsoever against playing Deadlands as a Briscoe County Junior setting. No, you will receive no argument from us. With that, we think that's brilliant, and we should and Dave should make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And also Bruce should be a guest.
Yeah, he
Like-
should come play with us in that game.
Or at the very least, like give us like like a little like a voiceover or
just a little thing.
like of course.
Yeah. We can make that happen. Let's see here. Finally found the link. A role playing. Oh, I guess this is for Quietus. Sorry. Explorers Wanted. Yeah, the bot thing. It doesn't let links happen here. You can post that in the Discord, which I'm gonna rep it anyway. But I'm pretty sure everybody on here is on the Discord anyway. But if you're not, we have a Discord. Go to fandible.com. Find the links. they are there in case you are watching this after the thing.
After hours.
Yes. So, but yes, feel free to post a link on our Discord. We will definitely check it out. It's a role playing game of melancholy horror. So yeah, that definitely sounds up your alley.
Sounds good.
Good evening. Just found the Twitch alert. Hey, welcome, Ken Doyle.
Hey.
We've been at this for about an hour and a half now. We're probably going to be around for another half an hour or so.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
No, 3 hours of streaming.
Yes. And let's see here. Part-Time Geek. Lock Tomb is now a strong contender. Yes. Lock Tomb books. Again, cannot recommend them enough. Harrow the Ninth is the name of the first book. Look it up. They're just, also they are funny. They're sharp. They're witty. They're funny as hell. They're really good books. Now, wondering if you can develop a Bruce Campbell impression, says Part-Time Geek. You know what? That's a good. That's the kind of thing you should dedicate your time to. Everybody should.
That is a. We're gonna say that's a patron goal. Me doing a Bruce Campbell impression because there's very little chance I can do it well. So, yeah.
So Stevedore mentions that we are apparently a little low, according to them, or their headphones are going out. One of the two, which since that latter one would require them to spend money, they would prefer to believe that.
Nope. So listeners, let us know if we are low because I'm the audio guy.
Anybody else? Because we're looking at our levels. Is that the word? Yes.
Yeah, it's about halfway.
And we're good.
We're looking at
about
like a -12, but so listeners, let us know if we could be higher.
Yeah, because we are. I mean, I can get real high.
That's not what I mean.
But that's what I mean. No, but like every time, see what.
Why are we the Abbott and Costello?
Right.
fucking.
All right, we sound
like
fine.
We've been at this for 10 years.
Little low compared to what we were listening on YouTube. Had to crank up. Okay, so we are a little low compared to YouTube, but YouTube also. I mean, we can maybe do. You can crank some dials up. See what we can do. Doing it live, folks. We're doing it live.
Wow.
Well, according to our levels, we are now spiking like whoa. But y'all tell us if we sound fine. Yeah.
Are we okay? Let us know. Let us know.
Oh, that's much better. Okay. All right. Well, there we go.
Fuck it.
So
fuck OBS.
Red
OBS.
Red is good. Is the message we are receiving.
Oh,
red
my
is
God.
good.
So sorry for everyone.
Yeah, no, we were trying to we thought the good colors would.
No,
I mean, because so we've got like red, and then we got yellow, and then we got beige.
Yellow is basically like a super slim margin.
Yeah. And then just mostly beige, right? I think
you can turn it back down a smidge, but I can also turn down my own volume now.
Oh, now we're too loud. Okay, so
turn it up to 11. Spinal Tap.
Yes.
We are going to turn it up and break off the knob.
There we go. See, this is audience feedback that we don't get when we record.
Yep. Okay, how about now?
Some buzz. All right, we were too loud before. So hopefully we found a middle ground. And even if we haven't, this is the middle ground you're getting, I think. What are we drinking, Dave?
Ken Doyle, hello. Ken Doyle, we're drinking, that's a fan-fucking-tastic question, and I can't remember what it's
whiskey
called.
He first found when he went upstairs.
Yes, give me 1 second. This will actually help.
But it is whiskey. I can at least tell you that much. It's delicious whiskey, too.
1 second.
We have the internet. We can look it up.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it's not.
Too many whiskeys. Whiskey.
1 second.
All right, he's run off. Great. It's on me. Okay. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. He's going up the stairs, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Doyle, he did this to us. You sent him off on a quest. I hope you have a suitable reward for when he comes back, because he gets testy if he doesn't. Nope, too late, derailed. Doing Incinerator. So is that think Fireball with a kick Kick with a K, yes. So, okay. I mean, Fireball is whiskey. Incinerator. Interesting. All right, I'll check it out. I like the idea behind this. This is more of a classic whiskey. This is a whiskey flavored whiskey. Dave returns to hear me exclaim the phrase "whiskey flavored whiskey." So please save us, Dave.
Lord have mercy, we are drinking Stillhouse.
Stillhouse. There we go.
Mm-hmm. We are drinking Stillhouse black bourbon. So it's bourbon that is aged in casks that were used for coffee. So it has a coffee flavor to it.
Yes,
it does.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
And like, yeah, other bourbons talk about like, oh, we smooth out the flavor. Like, no, fuck you. This bourbon smooths it out. Mm-hmm. It is one of the smoothest bourbons I've ever had.
Good. It's very good.
And also, favorite part about this, it comes in a goddamn gas can.
It does.
Like, no lie, it comes in a tin gas can.
Look it up.
So it is a it makes you feel like a bootlegger top to bottom. Like, oh, we're hiding this from the cops because it was put into coffee cans or coffee casks and then smuggled out in goddamn gas cans. It's here's to bootlegging and coffee bourbon.
It's good.
It is good. It's good, y'all. It's really good.
All right. So Part-Time Geek mentioned they're doing one whiskey called Incinerator currently, which is basically Fireball with a kick, which is in itself whiskey with a cinnamon kick. So I'm curious about that one.
Okay.
Ken Doyle mentions that they are enjoying an Old Speckled Hen with which is an English pale ale.
Oh, I've had.
I think I've seen it. I'm not a big pale ale guy, but I've seen it.
I've had the hen. Yeah. I've had the hen. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. Part-Time Geek mentions that the Incinerator is overproofed at about 90. Yeah. There's your kick. There's your kick right there.
Yeah.
Steve, back to the volume from a pastor called Stanvoid. They prefer the option to turn down their own volume to adjust as something comfortable because they can't really turn it up. Why would you need to have your volume set to max values to be able to hear? I mean, fair. I at my home computer, my volume rarely goes over 20%. Like, and I can hear you. Like, I don't know what it is about just the average volume, but my average volume rarely goes above 20%. Anything above that just blows out my audio.
So from an audio standpoint, forgive the nerdiness, but if you look at audio volume, audio volume, which we will definitely do one day. Audio volume, it goes from like -52 to 0 being like the top when speakers start to blow out. I have learned to keep it to -6 to -3, no higher. And so when we go into the red like this, instinctively, like I kind of freak out.
Like, oh my god, we're breaking shit.
Yeah, but then again, I'm looking at it from a perspective of somebody who's going to do post, post
this
audio.
is where like we are live. We need to be audible right now. There is no do-over.
Yep. So
there's no editing it in post.
So if we're too low, that's my fault because Jesus
yell
Christ.
At us. Yeah, let us know because we have no way.
Yep.
Of knowing.
We have a lot of comments. Keep going.
We do. I mean, not that many. We're basically caught up. They like the idea of coffee and whiskey. Who doesn't? I do that on my writing nights, says Part-Time Geek. So this is just all together. Also, audible volume. Sounds great.
Right, fair.
Yes, and that's we are fully caught up.
All right, cool. Coffee and whiskey. Yep, very nice. Audible volume. Thank you, Part-Time Geek. All right, so when you left, yes, we were talking about things to make a role-playing game for.
What's I
No,
know?
that was before.
That was before.
Look, the point is, so you brought up Weird Al before.
I did. I'll do it
can't
again.
let go of that.
I'll do it again.
because I love Weird Al.
Yeah.
I have since I was a kid.
Yeah, no, I got to like not that long ago, within the decade, got to see Weird Al live in New York during one of his last shows. Which was great, and that's one of the hoodies that I own. I bought at that show.
I missed him at Portland, Maine, on October 31st.
Oof.
Because I was a coward, and now, in my 3+ decades of life on this earth, I want to see him.
I mean,
so
he can
desperately.
still, dude. First of all, this was mentioned as not original to me. I saw this on Twitter the other day, but it's also true. He's been doing his thing for going on 40 years.
Yep.
And there's never been a knock on fucking everything, sexual harassment thing or anything like that. And everybody who's ever talked about him, he's a genuinely fucking great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn, props to Weird
Yep.
Al.
Yep.
Here's to Weird Al.
Here's to Weird Al.
Oh,
Clicky.
yeah.
Here's to Weird Al.
Oh, they are okay. They are doing a weird. Yes, I heard about this. They're doing a Weird Al biopic, starring Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al.
You've all seen the fake, promo for Weird, right? The fake. It was.
I have not. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's years ago. It was a fake. I think it was Funny or Die, for a biopic for Weird Al Yankovic, called Weird. If you haven't seen it,
Okay,
Dan,
so after this,
the second we cut,
yeah, as soon as we cut, we're gonna put it up on the big screen.
Motherfucker, seriously? All right. So, they basically produce his life in a preview as if he was some sort of actual like rock and roll star.
I mean,
that had a hard upbringing,
yeah.
and then found stardom, and then had a girlfriend, and then lost her because he
the
was
whole arc, yeah.
and then reached his peak, and then became a fucking nonsense druggie, and yeah.
And the fact is, he's just the nicest dude. He's incredible. And to think that this guy, once upon a time, and as far as I'm concerned, still to this day, how you as being an artist that is not Weird Al know that you have made it is when Weird Al makes a Weird Al cover of one of your songs.
Yeah,
that was how you knew. It's shit, I am popular. Weird Al made a song from one of mine, and he may not have the cultural weight that he once did, but in my heart,
no, he fucking should. If the
you
world
as an artist
has ever needed Weird Al,
for real,
it's
for
right
real.
now.
But if you as an artist have never been covered by Weird Al, then what are you even doing, right? Who are you?
So, Dan, I think we should sign off.
Yes,
but
we should. Let's make that go.
Dan, I think that we should listen to Weird Al's entire discography.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Excuse me. Entire disc. Oh, my God. It's very dry.
Oh.
Sorry. This is not going to help.
No, not at all. But it will make you feel better about it.
Name your favorite off the top of your head Weird Al song.
Ooh, what popped into my head immediately was "Dare to Be Stupid."
Ooh, good one. I'm gonna say,
and that's one of those. It's kind of polemic because it's a very annoying song.
Yeah.
It's in fact the whole point of the song is it just keeps going.
Yep.
And I respect that.
I'm gonna say, oh, there it is. That's good. I'm gonna say, "Christmas at Ground Zero."
Yeah.
Because
that's such a good classic.
It's a fucking that's a deep cut.
It is.
Because it was on a Dr. Demento's Christmas album that I had when I was 12.
Yeah.
And when when I met my partner, we were talking about Christmas, which I'm not a huge fan of, but they are. They really are.
It's true.
I told them about this album, and they looked it up, and they're like, "Oh!" And they looked at the track list, and they're like, "Oh, you were like in the single digits when you listen to this? Yeah, that explains a lot. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
But Christmas at Ground Zero, fucking fantastic
That's true,
song.
that's true. Weird Al was formative, I think, for both of us. Like we grew up with that, and it definitely shaped in many ways who we both are as people to this day. So
And Al,
yeah.
we know you're a fan.
Yeah.
You don't need to write in, but if you ever want to be a guest of the show,
you know,
then
we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Sure, we can make time.
I'm pretty sure that we can bump somebody.
Have your agent call our agent. We'll make something happen. All right. On that note, let's just catch up real quick, and I think we can call it a night. Just people are putting out their own faves, such as White Nerdy by Part-Time Geek, who also mentions that not only is Weird Al a genuinely good dude, he is also genuinely a good musician.
Yeah.
He
He plays a
legitimately,
lot
he's
of different
really
things.
good.
Yeah.
Ken Doyle mentions Amish Paradise, and Part-Time Geek agrees. Yes, Amish Paradise is one of the big sort of breakout hits for him, and worth the listen. And with that, we are caught up, and I think we can call it a night. So,
All right.
thank you, all of you who joined us, those of you who are still with us, and those of you who joined earlier and dropped off. I'm just glad you were here to witness this, because we started streaming like 0 viewers.
Oh,
We deserve this.
Yeah.
We deserve this.
No,
You know,
this is great.
This
we
is
are
great.
100%.
We are. Look, we absolutely like. We get excited for doing these like every week.
I
We're
do.
like, well,
We do.
it's so. This is great. This is great. We love interacting with you folks. Yes, we will miss you all too. And we will. I'm not going to say most certainly, but most certainly try to do another one next week. We are definitely aiming to do at least one of these every week. So keep an eye on the Discord and our Twitter for the next announcement. We also need to do another Screaming Jabronis video game streaming
my
at
God,
some
yes,
point
please.
soon. So that we'll not announcing any dates yet. We figure it out because, as we mentioned earlier when we got vulnerable, our time has become more limited of late. But we so very much want to do it because we love hanging out with you folks. Theodore, when I joined, I saw one number in the viewers. It must have been me, and I decided to leave, which was a lie. Never leave. If you are our only listeners, our only viewers, we will shower you with attention. We are needy as fuck, and we will
So desperate for positive.
We are desperate for any kind of just please validate us.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you again, all of you, so much for watching, listening,
God.
etc. Join us. Come back to the Discord. Say,
All right.
call us names, and we will be hopefully back next week.
Let's go watch some fucking horror movies.
All right. And
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
There we go. Are we muted? Yeah. No.